And this will be, again, on all over everywhere shortly, so you've got some resources. We did launch a site last night called ExitStrategyMovesYou.com. That is some public resources from us in this kind of extraordinary time. Feel free to share it, whether you guys are part of our office or not. We've got health and wellness, personal finance, charity and community, real estate stuff, everything basically related to what's going on right now. There's going to be a lot more added to the site over the coming days and weeks. As you can imagine, there's a bunch of misinformation out there. We want only the best information, so we've got that for you guys as a resource. That website, again, is ExitStrategyMovesYou.com. The other one is TeamLiber.com. That got a redo late last week. I sensed some stuff coming and knew that we would probably be working remotely, and quite frankly, my TeamLiber.com could be using an overhaul anyway. So all these coaching resources are for you. If we've ever spoken before, if I've spoken at an event to you, there's some great free realtor resources. You can attend upcoming trainings. We're going to have a lot more of this. Today is just the beginning. You can already mark your calendars for next Tuesday, March 24th. We are going to have a 6 p.m. webinar. So that's going to catch full and part-time people, 6 p.m. The Eventbrite and information for that will be under my training. If you're part of our office or in my coaching, you've got a private coaching blog. Everybody's got the YouTube channel, LinkedIn channel. If you need to schedule some time with me in our office, then our daily dose, that's my emails to our coaching students. And if for some reason someone's lost and wanted to go on my consumer website, they can go there. So that's all the resources that we've got for you right now so far. We're going to be adding a lot to them. But what we're here for today, of course, first and foremost, is going to be the social media wheel of life. And so I'm going to go ahead and get that presentation started now. I love teaching this class, and I've taught it for a long, long time, but it needed a redo. Social media wheel of life 1.0 was simply getting people to use social media. And so out of a sense of nostalgia, we actually kept up these old emojis or characters at the top because, as you know, Instagram's had a new logo for years. But I've been teaching a version of this course for at least since 2013 because I've made hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in commissions over the years by working effectively on social media. And I cannot think of a better time than right now when we're in our houses, when we have a lot of time on the internet, to be working in social media, getting good value out there, getting education out there. So much absolutely key information to be working on. And this is going to be absolutely just vital for you in the coming days, weeks, and months. And what I love about social media, it is free. Free, free, free. Everything I'm going to talk to you about today is free. And so when we first taught it, we were just trying to get people to use it, to stop separating their personal and business lives and hiding through some of these other, business portals and not getting personal with people. Then the second 2.0, which some of you guys have heard me speak and present on, was showing you how to get deeper in with people and really build relationships with people, not just by posting and spewing information, but by getting to know people, getting more contact information, getting more details about what's going on in their world, using it as a bridge to then meet them in person. And now we're talking to you about you doing all this smarter. There's new technology. There's better ways. The algorithms have changed. So this 3.0 is a completely new way to do it. And my goal is for you to never be a secret agent again. It's going to be hard the next couple weeks for you guys to get a lot of other information out there. Most public events have been canceled. Bars and restaurants are closing as we speak. It's kind of a moving target. So social media is not shut down, guys. I can't think of a better time to do this course. So first of all, why engage in social media? This should be a no-brainer at this point, but I do want to review, knowing there's a lot of different people on this call, on this webinar, and you're going to watch this later at different points in their social media expertise. It increases your SEO content. If you've ever Googled me, well, do it right now or later if you want to, but Google me and you'll find a bunch of different information. The exciting thing is unlike a decade ago, you are in control of so much content about yourself, and so you have to be content focused. It cannot just be spewing junk out there or just having a profile. You've got to have a lot of content. Well, you control that content. It used to be back in the day you hired a PR firm, you had to have marketing and billboards. I spent money on all that stuff, and I figured out over the last couple of years that social media was making me so much more money than all of the rest of the stuff combined that I was spending money on. Why waste your time anywhere else? This is where you start, okay? So you're also going to build your reputation within your sphere. There's some people I don't get to see very often in person. Again, right now, we're not going to see a lot of people potentially for a while in person. So how do you build your reputation? You build it online. I want you all to be first in line when people are thinking of real estate. This is free. It's easier than prospecting, because right now I don't think there's going to be a lot of door knocking for a bit either. This also gives you referrals. We need to be in a referral network. When I go out and I look at people online on their social media, I make a judgment call whether they're a good person to send business to. What does your social media say about yourself? And I'll give you a quick lead story really quick. I had one photo that I uploaded to Facebook. I got 3 deals out of it. Now, that is an exceptional case. There's photos I post that don't get anything. I don't expect money when I post things, but I posted one photo of a bathroom that I thought was an exceptional bathroom. It did happen to be in a foreclosure. I got permission of the seller's agent to take a picture of the bathroom. I didn't put an address, I just put a price. And I had so many inquiries about that place. I ended up selling somebody that said, look, if there's stuff, that's cheap out there right now still in this market, maybe I should not renew my lease. Well, I got them pre-approved. I got them to buy a place. Wasn't that place. They had no interest in actually where that address was once I gave them the address. Second person, they actually were interested in that neighborhood. They were thinking about maybe being a first-time buyer. I've not spoken to them about real estate at all yet. I don't even know if they knew I was a realtor. We just happened to be connected on social media. Well, they ended up buying, and I got to tell you, it was one of the only times I've ever had this happen. That person actually ended up, after looking at 8 or 9 other places, they bought that house, okay? So that was exceptional. The third person just says, hey, I love that you're always out there educating people. I just like your style. Would you want to come out and do a market analysis on my house? Listed it and sold that place. That was 3 deals, $20,000. Actually ended up being more than that because I think one of them referred me business later. That is the power of it. So when you're sitting there right now going, what do I do? Maybe I'm low on funds. Maybe I'm low on motivation. You've got to get back into a groove of social media. What a better time than now to do it. Repetition of perception equals brand. That is a new thing I've heard recently. I sit through a lot of social media courses. A lot of you guys know that Margie Lemons is just a master trainer at the national level. She's out of our office. I'm always listening to her, listening to some other people. Repetition of perception equals brand. You create your brand. Nobody else does. The company does it. So I know we got a lot of people from a lot of different companies on this call. You're the one that creates that perception, okay? So how much time should you spend on this? I have really dialed back on my time spent on social media. Here is what I do now. I never spend more than 15 minutes a day on it. I think on the fly about a lot of this stuff. I look at my calendar for the next day, and I go, okay, where could I reasonably post something? I'm mobile on everything. I've got the iPad, the smartphone apps from Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. I do not use the syndicators anymore. Hootsuite, I don't use it. I use the native application. In other words, if I'm going to post in Facebook, I'm on the Facebook app. If I'm going to post on Twitter, Twitter app. LinkedIn, LinkedIn app. I use Instagram to post to Instagram. I don't use it to be trying to post on other sites. I know it can do that, but I tend to have some things not always go right with that in terms of engagement afterwards. So I cut and paste the same message for each site, but I go and I individually do it on each site, if that makes sense. And again, we'll have time for questions at the end, so write them down and we'll ask them in the dialogue box. I plan ahead. Campaign, quotes, things like that. I just look sometimes like, okay, reasonably later this week, I'm going to have a lull in what I want to say. Let's think of something. Let's be creative. I time block for this. So on the right-hand side here, there's a little bit of a time block calendar. That time block calendar is my Bible for the way I work my day. And if you see right at the beginning of the day, after I do my miracle morning, I come in the office and I get some things done. And one of them is social media. I time block to get birthdays out, so I look at whose birthday it is. I acknowledge their birthday, and I got to tell you, if they are somebody that I think is important to me or should be important to me, a VIP, a past client, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't think I've got their birthday in my database. I take that, and instead of writing on their wall, I text or I message them personally and say, hey, I've got a little birthday card for you. Confirm your home address for me, and I'm sending a piece of direct mail. So time block for this. Get the birthdays out of the way. I love what Annette always says, the 7x7, Annette Anthony at Exit, our Director of Technology Engagement. She says, find 7 things to celebrate or acknowledge by 7 a.m. This is a great thing to do that on. And then you're off and running to your day. You're not sitting on social media all day. You can't, guys. Particularly with the news cycles and information cycles right now, you'll not only lose the day, you're going to cause yourself anxiety. But I do use, this is the new rule of thumb. The new rule of thumb is I post once a day max in my own static feed. What is a static feed? That is your actual feed. It's not the Instagram stories, not the Facebook stories. That static feed, that permanent post, people will go back and they can look at that for more than 24 hours. I want something meaningful. I want a picture that's attractive. I'm not posting junk. I let my stories, though, do the rest. So I do post to my stories throughout the day. If I've got a testimonial, and I've already talked about myself earlier in the day, a new client testimonial, if I've got a training coming up and I've already talked about it once, I don't want to be repetitive in my permanent post, but I darn well can have a little bit of fun, show a little bit of flavor, and also repeat myself a little bit, maybe be a little braggy in my stories on Facebook and Instagram, okay? So one more thing. You need to warm it up when you are posting now. So when you're doing these static posts, you need to reply to all the comments on the post. That is a new part of the algorithm. We're going to talk more about the algorithm later. Once you post, if people are commenting, like it, but also then respond. Say, hey, thank you for the comment. Good to hear from you, etc. People comment back. Don't just use emojis. The more engagement there is on your post from other people and then from you in the first couple minutes, in the first couple hours, that is going to determine the overall stance and positivity in terms of the engagement of that post, okay? So next, what do you post? These are some older pictures. I got to tell you that these worked out really good for me. If you're in a place where you've got some farm country, take pictures of the farmland. Skyline, nobody needs permission to post a picture of a skyline. I like some quick pictures like that are, hey, I'm out showing houses in this beautiful city today or this rainy weather day or whatever. Remind people you're in the business. A dead social media feed does nothing for anybody. Same way with inventory. I see some people not talking about their inventory enough. I've got great photographers. I use that to my advantage. I'm always posting pictures of my inventory. I give them a little bit of a hint so that maybe they'll ask me about it. And by the way, wow, guys, use those exit marketing tools of your exit to go ahead and get some lead capture, get some more information out to people. Don't just post. Give them some information, all right? Use your tools. So let's talk about specific venues. Venue one is Facebook. It is still the most popular, but that's changing. So we want you to continue to use it, but know that there's other things out there that are really almost catching up, if not overtaking them. It's still the most social daily engagement. It's less formal than LinkedIn. You're still seeing selfies and jokes and posts like that. But I want to clarify with you, your personal page is key. Nobody is on your professional pages. They're not getting noticed. You want to share on your personal pages, okay? Your personal profile is where people are going. People are going to be in your car anyway and get to know you anyway. Stop trying to disconnect the two. Nobody wants to be sold on Facebook. They're not going to your professional pages. So the professional pages, we'll talk about the use of them later. Your personal page is key. The only thing you're going to do your professional page for, that's for paid campaigns. And now, at Exit, we've got that Facebook tool where you don't even really need your own Facebook page anymore for professional stuff. I mix business with pleasure. I don't overshare. I'm not too political, but I do mix business with pleasure. I want people to get a flavor. For me, this is a relationship business. Act like it. I love Facebook Live because it shows up in people's news feeds. And here's the deal. Why is that showing up in people's news feeds? Because Facebook's mad they don't own YouTube. YouTube, its own separate entity. They want to be in video too, so they feel that's their venue for that. So they shove it to the top of the algorithm. I like Facebook Live because you can repurpose it. I've got a whole YouTube video on how to repurpose Facebook Live. You can download that video from a desktop or a laptop and repurpose that elsewhere. All of a sudden, you've got content. What did we talk about earlier? Content's key. Content for your Facebook. There is one thing I do like on your business page, though. This is a new training I'm going to have out soon for you. There is a stealth campaign. So the business pages, again, unless you're going to pay for stuff to get boosted to strangers, then you've got to really worry about trying to get lead capture. I don't necessarily love that. But what I do like about the Facebook business pages, you can upload a CSV file. So for those of you that are really working with me on databases, and that's what we're going to have that March 24th event next Tuesday evening about. If you're working on your database and you've got a VIP list or a special list of people, maybe it's a list of expired, somebody that you're targeting, you've got contact information for them, you can then target them on your Facebook business page, not your personal page, and pay a little money to make sure that they are seeing that content from you from your business page. So that's an option if you really have already spent a lot of time on that business page. There's some things you can do spending money, but again, I love that personal page because that's where most of your friends and clients are. They're not trying to get on those business pages unless you want to start spending money on them. LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is a massive, growing database of people. It's so rich in content. And here's what's going on. It used to be, yes, just for people that needed a job, for people that were looking for hires. It has changed. It's become a news source. It's become a professional resource. It also now looks and feels like Facebook. It's daily interaction. So if you're not daily posting the same content to LinkedIn that you are on Facebook and Instagram, what did I say earlier? Copy and paste, do the same thing. You're making a big mistake. Why I like LinkedIn, I see a lot of time people are talking to me about how they are seeing more and more of my content on LinkedIn regularly because I post regularly. So that algorithm is a little easier to figure out. Post a lot, people engage a lot. Add everybody you know. There's a lot of tools, people you may know tool. I love that tool. Here's the other thing. If you are in a CRM that's easy to use, like the one that I use Market Leader or Promo Shop, upload your contacts from LinkedIn to your database. It is the only site on social media that allows you to do that. It's also got a great feature called LinkedIn Publish. I use that as a blog. So go on LinkedIn, connect with me on LinkedIn, and look at my blog. It's really mostly based for realtors anyway. LinkedIn is huge for you to meet some really interesting people. If you ever wanted to do like leveraged events and get in touch with HR people or bankers and, just start to explore, again, in this time period where we may not be door knocking and shaking hands as much, LinkedIn is that online handshake. YouTube. I love YouTube. YouTube makes you come alive. I post these videos from YouTube to other places. I do sometimes upload directly to Facebook because they tend to, again, not like YouTube videos. So I'm recording a video on my phone a lot of times. It is educational. Sometimes I'm doing it to Facebook Live, which means I've got it on Facebook, and then I'm able to download it to YouTube. I do have a video on this for you guys. And I've got a lot of different types of videos. Video not only makes you come alive, it positions you once again as what? An expert. I've become an educator on real estate through YouTube, and I'm not spending a dime with anybody anymore on editing these videos. I am getting these videos out there. They're not always perfect, but they're value. If you don't like yourself on camera, if you don't like yourself on video, you're going to have to force yourself at some point soon, or you're going to miss the boat on this. And quite frankly, the ship has already sailed in a lot of places. You've got to get on this. And here's what I tell people, though, at my office. If you don't like it too much, you're not comfortable on it, bring a friend. And that friend is really going to be resourceful. If they're a mortgage lender or an attorney or somebody from a title company, an insurance agent, you can be the Diane Sawyer. You can be the person doing the interview. You can read a list of set of questions. A couple of mine, I literally sit there with my laptop, and I'm sitting there looking at my laptop and interviewing the person, Diane Sawyer style, and they're the one having to spit out the knowledge and content. I'm just the interviewer, but you are the resource. So think about YouTube. There's so many different videos on there. I have mine broken down into playlists. So go on my playlist and take a look at what you can copy and probably, quite frankly, do better than me. So I always lead capture. I always have a lead. I've got a call to action on everything. So a lot of you that I coach out there, I notice that there's information, there's a picture, but what's the message? It's not clear. What do you want people to do? Do you want people to call you? Do you want people to get you their digital business card or get you their contact information? Do you have a Google form? I love Google Forms for that. That's on this slide. Bit.ly, you can make things a little bit sexy in terms of shortening a long URL if you've got them to fill out a lead capture form. I always have a call to action, though. It says something like, check out my blog, join the Eventbrite, search on my site. And that lead capture, that's in my stories, it's in my main posts. But here's some new information. If it's not asking for contact information, what is it doing? It's got to be at least doing some sort of call to action. But don't share the link in the status. So for a long time, we were throwing together these things, and we'd say, okay, go to my website, and you put the website in your status updater. What you need to do now is put it in the comments below. So link to more information in the comments below. And then you personally are the one to type. You're probably going to be your first comment. Check this out, and then you put the website. Why is that? If you put it in the main status update, you put it in the main post, automatically most of the social media sites are realizing now that is some sort of ad. They think it's an ad, and so they are shoving it to the absolute bottom of the content. So put your link in the comments below. But if you don't have a link, feel free to have the call to action. Call me now. You can put your phone number, but don't put a website link because it will shove your content down. Make sure to just do that in the comments below. And again, I like bit.ly, case sensitive, but you can make some sexy, shorter links for things. And again, Google Forms is wonderful for this too. Twitter. I don't spend as much time on Twitter. It's cocktail party chatter. It's tough to engage. There is some content on there that's valuable. You can use some hashtags and get some content that maybe you can reshare elsewhere, but I'm not spending a lot of time on Twitter. Where am I spending time? Instagram. This is the Generation Y winner. This is all the millennials. Lots of engagement, lots of celebrities, lots of politicians. Everybody is moved on to Instagram. Now, Instagram is, of course, Instagram is, of course, owned by Facebook. They were allowing you to syndicate to Twitter and Facebook. I don't like to do that anymore, but what I really like to do, get a good main post on Instagram and then really support and reinforce what my message is, my value proposition, invite people to things on my Instagram stories. So Instagram stories, again, those are in the top left-hand corner of your screen. Those are going to be the things that are there for less than 24 hours. What is the policy reason behind that, so to speak, or why did Instagram come up with that? And now they've got the Facebook stories as well. Well, guess what? They didn't like that they didn't own Snapchat. So because they didn't own Snapchat, they wanted their own 24-hour or less instant content, short content, disappearing content. So they created Instagram stories, and they are now very, very popular. Not everyone knows how to use them, which means that they're shoved up right to the top of the content, and there's less of us figuring them out. So if you can figure them out, how to use it, go on my profile, look at the little dot, look at it with my orange face on it. And if it's got a little red circle around it, that means that, guess what? I've got a story up, and I always have stories going. So feel free to copy some of my content and check that out. Instagram isn't just for pictures. I like to use graphics, but sparingly. It is a picture-oriented site, but I do like some graphics on there. I'll tell you that NAR, the National Association of Realtors, has some great graphics. Your local board, statistics, things like that. It's not just about fun. It's not just about real estate. It's about education. So mix and match, mix that stuff up. I do some blogging. I do some vlogging as well. Vlogging, not flogging, vlogging. Vlogging is on YouTube. It's a digest of what I'm doing. It's information that's just too large to put in a video sometime, or it's something that's been translated from a video. So I really like LinkedIn for that. Some of you guys may have some capability to do this on your own website. I know our office websites now allow you to blog right there. I really am starting to use my blog to also cement relationships, going on there and saying, hey, I've got some great vendors. You can do neighborhood specials. Be an expert. Again, in this time where we have so much, quite frankly, internet downtime, and we're at home, working from home, and there's going to be, a lot of things that are canceled. This is the time to put together a structure, a content outline, a 12-month marketing calendar. I got so many resources for this stuff for you guys on my YouTube. It's not even funny. And go on there and start looking at this. A 12-month marketing calendar. Put it together now. You can start doing these blogs now, even if you don't release them all at once. Archive these suckers. Draft them. Use this downtime as much as possible. Keyword here is also repurpose. I share them between media. So, if I've got a new restaurant recommendation on my blog, guess what? I've got a picture of me in front of that restaurant on my Instagram and everywhere else and say, hey, go to my blog and check out more information. And of course, I send that link to that blog in the comments, not the main post, because I don't want my post to get shoved down in the algorithm. Google Plus and Pinterest. Google Plus is dead. Pinterest, there's a webinar on it from Exit Corporate if you're at Exit. I'm not really using it a lot yet. I'm probably not going to use it. I'm pretty much at capacity for sites right now for social media. But Google Business Pages, I say they're meh, but here's why I'm not 100% sure that you can ignore them. Google Business Pages, you can put reviews on them. I'm starting to see more and more where, if my clients get reviews on there and it's showing up in the biggest search engine in the world, it's valuable. So are people sitting in there playing on them? No. But when you type in your name on Google, that pops up. That Google Business Page pops up right at the beginning. So start a Google Business Page. There is a webinar on Google Plus on the ERC. I think that one's going to be going away or it is gone. Change that to Google Business Pages if you have not already. Go ahead and get one. If you're at my office, we've got some blogs on my blog, how to do the business pages. So I talked about graphics a little bit. I love the Canva app for graphics. Canva, C-A-N-V-A, it's amazing. It kind of puts things into graphic when you're having an issue. Maybe you can't get outside and do some of the pictures you wanted to do right now. Well, guess what? There's a way to virtually do some of that stuff. Canva, C-A-N-V-A, it's an app for your phone. It's also online. And another one is called Over, O-V-E-R. O-V-E-R, that's another new one as well. It also does cover photos. If you've been looking to do a marketing makeover, what a better time than right now. If you're at our office, you've got our in-house graphic designer. She's amazing. She's free. This would be a good time to sit there and get those logos out, because you got some time right now to think about what you want your branding to look like. Now, let's talk a little bit more about Facebook and Instagram paid ads, because we're kind of getting, we're not to the end of our time by any means, but I want to go over some things with them. Facebook paid ads, these are only for your business page if you've got a Facebook business page. I want to also clarify Instagram. Instagram does not have a separation between their business pages and their personal pages. All they have is a settings change. So on Facebook, I tell you, absolutely post everything on your personal page, and maybe if you've got time and you want to spend some money, do a business page. Instagram, even though it's owned by Facebook, I'm giving you the exact opposite advice. On Instagram, go right now. This is the second to last bullet point on this page. Go right now and turn your Instagram account into a business account under settings. Why is that? Because the Instagram account then it gives you an extra line of text. It gives you the ability to have a website address. Go look at what I've done on my Instagram. I'm in the same social media handle everywhere. It's at Nick Libert, N-I-C-K-L-I-B as in boy, E-R-T. So go look at that as an example. My Instagram account's a business account. That also then allows you, if you're going to do Facebook paid ads, it allows you to link to your Instagram as well. And do that through your Instagram, which is now a business account. No one will notice the difference on Instagram if you're a business or personal account, except anybody else that has the business account, okay? So they're not going to care. Facebook, you're always wanting to interact with your friends on your personal account and only use the business account separately for paid ads. So that's a dichotomy between the two. It's the best way I can explain it. I can answer more questions afterwards. But paid ads, why do I still even talk about paid ads when I say social media is all free? You've got a natural database. You can't even add me on Facebook right now as a friend. I'm at capacity. You can absolutely do that on Instagram and LinkedIn, which is where I'm really active, because guess what? There is no limit on them. But all of us have either a national or a Facebook imposed limit on people that we know, and you want to grow beyond that. So if you want to get out there and put some money into ads to get your properties beyond your natural network, because of course you're probably not going to sell. You might sell a listing of yours to your natural network, but maybe not, maybe not. Maybe right now you're going to do some online seminars. Boy, we're going to have to do a lot of online seminars, aren't we? Some online home buyer seminars, seller seminars, all kinds of stuff. With things going online, I want to make sure that people not in my database, not in my natural social media sphere, see this stuff as well. That's when I go to paid ads. So paid ads, you can spend $5, $25, get more traction on your listings, open houses, or drive traffic to your website. What did I say earlier? Lead capture is the name of the game. A couple more things. These are kind of bonus items, but we're going to get into a little bit more nitty-gritty stuff as well. Email signatures. Email signatures, while you've got that valuable real estate, what are you saying in it? Every time you send an email, you should have a buyer presentation, a seller presentation. I've got videos for each. Why join Exit if you're an Exit, whatever company you're proud of. Get that information in the email signature. It really makes it valuable. I've got some extra instructions. You can freeze this and send me an email if you've got time. And when I have time, I'll send you one back, and you can cut and paste that information and make that your own. Talk about rules of engagement. I get a lot of questions on it. Make it fun. Don't always be selling. Please don't always be selling. I see some people on their personal pages that it's all about that, and it just makes me cringe. Keep it appropriate. You are now, I love the Brian Buffini program. Some of you guys know I'm in CORE as well, graduated from their level 3 courses. But Brian Buffini is a certified mentor. We talk about the mayor campaign. You're now running for mayor. Is that something that you want people to see if you were running for mayor? You're out and about in the street sometimes. I don't know, for a while, given what we're going through now. But I've got my name badge on. I got a smile on my face when I'm out. When I'm at home on my online stuff, I reminded myself that I am being looked at by the public because I'm putting myself out there in a public way. I'm upbeat and motivational when I can. People like to work with a winner, but they don't like to work with a liar. So if you didn't have a closing, don't fake one. If you didn't have a good review, don't make one up. If you've had a bad day, well, maybe every once in a while people, like to see you're human too. But, nobody likes an Eeyore down person either. So just be upbeat and motivational when you can. And sometimes if you need to take a break, take a break. Social media, you can take a break from it as well if you need to. But don't delete your account because, boy, that would be a shame. Just have to start all over. Be you. They're going to meet you in person anyways. I said earlier about they're going to be stuck in your car for hours with you if you are riding around with them, showing them houses. Even if you are now virtual for a while showing houses, guess what? They're going to see you and get to know you. Same way with sellers. They're going to tell you why they're selling a lot of times, and maybe it's divorce, maybe it's a birth, maybe it's sickness or whatever's going on. It's a relationship business. Be you, build relationships. Be consistent with the naming of your profile. Again, mine is the same everywhere. It's @NickLeibert, so connect with me everywhere. Repurpose and use the same social media content between the sites like we talked about. Tag people, tag places, hashtag the events you're at. You have dramatic increases in views when you engage other people. Don't make it just all about you. Make it about the venue. Make it about the entrepreneur that you're supporting. Make it about the other people you're in the photo with. I do a lot of 12-month marketing calendar planning ahead so that I can specifically not panic about all this stuff I've got to do in social media because I know this is a lot of slides already, okay? I do an e-newsletter. Now, it used to be the first Tuesday of every month, and again, these slides have changed over time. If you're in Promo Shop, it is still comes out at a certain time of the month. I think it's 20th of the month. Our newsletters come out now on the 10th of the month. Some people are saying the first Tuesday of every month. I just like to get it out there at a time that I have plenty of more time to then get my events ready because I'm a very event-oriented person. I've always got something going on, even if right now it's virtual, and that requires planning, requires a 12-month marketing calendar. And so here's the strategy. You get the e-newsletter out, you get a video out twice a month, you get a written blog, you get a social event that you're promoting. At our office, I put together a social event every month for the agents and educational every month for the consumers. So we've always got something going on, so our agents don't even have to do that on their own. We can do it as a group, but you need to be putting value back into the business, particularly right now A lot of our competitors out there are going to be lost. I'm not sure what they're doing. Get some value out there. Get creative with how those events are going to be, if they need to be online for a while, whatever. I like to do educational seminars. Don't overdo it. Some people are doing them way too often and then they burn out, which is the worst thing you can do. Do them quarterly. Do them however often you can do them, but provide value, sometimes entertain. I'm done with this project, but it's obviously there's ongoing maintenance. Slowly get the birthdays and home anniversaries of all your VIPs and past clients into Promo Shop or whatever CRM you use. That's what I do every morning on Facebook. I make sure that I've got everybody acknowledged, and that everybody that's kind of closer to me than that raw giant list of 5,000 people. I'm not just writing on those closer people's wall. I'm getting their information and sending them something to their house. Get that into your CRM now. It took me a year because literally I just had the capacity at that time with no assistant when I started doing that to simply go on Facebook in the morning and go, okay, here's the birthdays. And LinkedIn now, by the way, does that as well. I'm always on my closings with people. I always talk about my listings, every new listing, price reduction. I ask other people for permission on their listings for those of you guys that are newer as well. I share market stats. I have fun stuff while I'm sharing reviews now as well. So have some fun with your people. Get creative with it. Show that you're a great agent. Show that you love what you do. Don't forget to use this as a recruiting tool if you're building a team or if you're an exit and are in part of our residual bonus system. Share this for office training events. If you're with us, make sure that your corporate profile is also up to date. It's got your social media links. Please note that if you're a competitor, the same goes for your corporate sites. Link to all your social media and your website and vice versa. This is why I originally called this Social Media Wheel of Life. This is building relationships. Make sure everything, if you're sending out a monthly newsletter, make sure it links to your social media. And don't forget your digital business card if you're with us. My end goal here, you've got to connect offline. So online is start. That's how you build a relationship. Then take them offline and put them in your CRM. I want this your dirty dozen. What is your dirty dozen? It's their first name, last name, cell phone, home address, city, state, and zip included, what their birthday is, their housing anniversary, their spouse names, their hobbies, their kids, their pets, all right? And here's how I group my people so that I can send out messages to individuals within my massive, hopefully your database is getting bigger and bigger. When your database gets bigger, you got to group people because sometimes maybe you have tickets to a sporting event or a movie or an invite to a holiday party that you can't invite 5,000 people, but you can darn well invite a couple dozen. So I've got VIPs that are non-clients. That's people that refer me my business, my referral army. My MLS clients, that's the past clients and the current clients. I've now separated them out even beyond that to past clients get their own category. My overall sphere, LinkedIn, because of course you can download those contacts as well. And then online leads, because I get a lot of internet inquiries. I separate them out because those sometimes go into a special campaign. We'll talk about campaigns and automated campaigns another day. Probably have time to do that on March 24th, so look for that information coming up. That is the end of our formal presentation. So that is everything I've got for you on the slides. I am open to have a continued conversation for a couple minutes here, see what questions you've got. So let's go ahead and see. All right, so let's see here. Somebody lost the first 15 minutes. That'll be recorded. Could not find settings on Instagram at all. How to make your Instagram into a business account. Exactly like I said, you're going to go into your Instagram on your mobile device. You're going to go into your Instagram on your mobile device, and under settings, you scroll all the way down to the bottom. And Elias, if you need one-on-one, I'm going to be able to send that to you in a video as well, okay? All right, so a couple people had some audio issues that they figured out on their own. Good for you. What other questions do you guys have? Anything else for now? I'm going to remind you guys of these resources. If you started with us late, we are going to have our next event on March 24th. You go on to teamlibert.com or go on our social media, any of our social media, and there's going to be a 10 NICS training events. You scroll down through Eventbrite, and just like you attended today, you are going to register and attend to that as well. That next one will be down here right after this one. go on my YouTube channel, and this particular training will be up on YouTube shortly. And then remember, if you guys are kind of struggling with getting some resources out there to the consumers, I've got a lot of links for you on exitstrategymovesyou.com. That is a new site we launched overnight, given what's going on in the world today. So be safe out there. I'm looking forward to our next webinar with you all. And if you are at our office, I'm available for coaching, one-on-one, small groups, by FaceTime, video, all that good stuff over the next coming days. Thank you so much for being here, and have a great day.